Okay, Shalom.
Shalom.
We're the Hebrew Israelites who come out week in and week out, prophesy the downfall of America, which in the scriptures is Babylon the Great. If you didn't know by now, all right. First and foremost, as always, we want to give all praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kodash.
We want to give double honors to our apostles and elders, great millstone, who teaches us truth, and salutations to the elect. All right, the Archeon across four corners of the earth teach this truth in all sincerity. All right. Like I said, come out here week in and week out, prophesy. Okay. We're out here every week, almost every week, you know, to teach our people, you know, the hopeful elect and the 1/3, you know, to get right, you know, to put a mark on the ones that are sighing and crying, right? You know, because if you're not sighing and crying, you know, if you don't see something is wrong here in America or and abroad, then something's wrong with you, right? So we're in a time now where being righteous is now looked at as weird or different, so to speak, which the scriptures say, you know, that's going to happen. You know, we're going to be looked at as you know, what does it say in Isaiah?
That's the spirit I was about to get to.
Can you get that one real quick?
Gave me some.
Isaiah 59. Let me see what it's like. You say you're talking about.
But we come out here, you know, to reach those people, which are the scattered people of the nation of Israel. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans predominant. You know, and you select confusion of faces out there who look like the other nations. Got that script?
Yep. This is Isaiah 59 and 14. Actually, I'm gonna start at verse. Let's see. I'm gonna read verse 14. It says, "And judgment is turned away backward, and justice standeth afar off. For truth is fallen in the street, and equity cannot enter. Yea, truth faileth, and he that departeth from evil maketh himself a prey."
There you go. So we're a prey to the people out here. You know, these everyday Joe Schmoes out here who you know, that just drift through America like everything's cool, everything is fine, nothing's wrong. You know, walking around with their cell phones, drinking their energy drinks, you know, riding their bikes and what have you, you know.
If I can say, all hell is getting ready to break loose on the planet Earth, and everybody's living their lives. The brother's saying everybody's living their lives like nothing's happening. See, and the ones that are telling the people and reproving the people to get right, which we only speaking to the Israelites, like the brother said, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But even on top of us speaking to our own people, we got to let these different nations know their judgment too. But for us advocating for clean water, for us advocating for no GMOs, okay? For us advocating for no pedophiles, us advocating for no homosexuality, we're looked at as an enemy. We're looked at as prey. We're looked at as terrorists. We're looked at as the enemies of the earth, when you really should be looking at the rulers of this earth, man. They are the true enemies, man, okay? The upper echelon so-called white people, the upper echelon Edomites. Good, bro.
Oh.
You know, it's on the tube that's right now, you know. The upper echelon Edomite. Okay, for those that don't know who Edomites are, it's these so-called white people walking up the streets, man. Okay? Because the Lord has it, whereas judgment is being marked for you guys, man.
That's right.
Starting chiefly with the house of Esau, man. The elites of the house of Esau, man, because they're going to go into slavery. They're going to be the first fruits. See? There's a little bit more. Right, I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to read it again. Verse 15, Isaiah 59 and 15. "Yea, truth faileth, and he that departeth from evil maketh himself a prey." And then in the Hebrew thing it says, "or is accounted mad."
Right. Hey, people think so. Hey, we're crazy. We're the crazy. You know, you're not crazy. You know, but we're crazy or mad or what have you. You know. So you got to precept.
This is Ecclesiastes Go ahead.
Go ahead. Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart.
Right. So, why wouldn't you be mad living in a society like this? Looking at demons riding up and down the street all day. I'm gonna get up at 5 a.m. every day and go slave for Esau, man. Who looks at you like he's better than you.
Here comes this.
So we're not out here trying to see. Look at Esau.
Get it on camera, man.
You got this is Babylon is a cesspit of confusion, man.
Oh.
You got an Edomite in a suit and a bow tie on a rent scooter.
And that word mad, when you look up that word mad, it literally goes back into like crazy or vexed. You know, and you should be vexed in this place, man.
That's right.
This place should. If you're an advocate for Christianity, you're an advocate for the Bible, this world should piss you off, man.
That's right.
Everything in this world should righteously anger you to the point whereas you would want to see judgment take place, man.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? But that's, you got a lot of people that claim to be Christians and stuff like that when they don't even live their life according to the scriptures, man. You see what I'm saying? We looked at as a prey. We are looked at and deemed as enemies of the state, threats. Why? Because Esau can't formulate and put the truth and the spirit into a box. Why? Because we're not infiltrated, man.
That's
now
right.
you have other camps that are infiltrated, like the IUIC. They have what's called the 501c3 charter. All right, government sanctions upon them preaching the truth. But us here at Great Millstone, we can't be infiltrated because this is nothing but the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua.
That's right.
The council's gonna come out, man. Right. See, you got it.
It's like it.
You ain't in the spirit of sighing and crying, then you're not in the right spirit.
That's right.
You're happy-go-lucky, you know, think everything's okay. You're not in the right spirit. So on that,
I got a little bit more actually. Verse 16. And he saw that there was no man and wondered that there was no intercessor. Therefore his arm brought salvation unto him, and his righteousness it sustained him.
So those mad, crazy people, hey, they're the ones gonna be saved.
That's right.
The ones out here toiling in this truth, in these scriptures, man. And then you're gonna marvel at those men when they get delivered, as the scriptures say. You're gonna be like, these men, these crazy people.
What's Solomon in the 5th chapter? There's actually, and I'm gonna just read down, bro. It's a lot on here, bro. Verse 17. For he put on righteousness as a breastplate and an helmet of salvation upon his head, and he put on the garment of vengeance for clothing, and was clad with zeal as a cloak. According to their deeds, accordingly he will repay. Fury to his adversaries, recompense to his enemies. To the islands he will repay recompense. What's that going into? That's going into the judgment of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man.
That's right.
When the Lord executes his judgment, it's going to be judgment rendered unto the enemies of the Lord, man. And who are the enemies of the Lord? It's you heathens, starting with your so-called white people, as well as 2/3 of our own people, man.
That's right.
Okay? That's why the scripture says, verse 19, so shall they fear the name of Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him. I'm gonna break it down early. You know?
When we're those men, that standard being lifted up.
And that standard really goes into the Lord coming through at that time, okay, at that right time, at the right moment to lift up that standard. And when you go into that word standard, it literally means to disappear or to flee. Okay? So when it comes in, when the enemy comes in like a flood, which we know the flood is going to be what? The flood is going to be the military troops coming in, storming in, trying to get us. That's when the Lord is going to lift up that standard for the elect of the children of Israel. That standard is going to be lifted. Okay, the prophets ain't going to lose this go around, man.
That's right.
We never lost back in the ancient world, man. But we damn sure this time, that's when the standard going to be lifted up this time, man. Okay? Verse 20. And the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob, saith Yahweh. As for me, this is my covenant with them, saith Yahweh. My spirit that is upon thee, and my words which I have put in thy mouth, shall not depart out of thy mouth, nor out of the mouth, nor out of the mouth of the seed, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, saith Yahweh, from henceforth and forever.
That's right.
Hey, these scriptures are going to be our meditation all the day, man, and forevermore. Lord willing, where those is.
That's right, man. His testimony, man, the testimony of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai has always been with the elect. That's what that verse is saying. It says that his testimony won't leave. Let me read it again. It says, my spirit which is upon thee, which we know what the spirit is, John 6:63. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. This word, right? That is upon thee, and my words which I have put in thy mouth, right, shall not depart out of thy mouth, nor out of the mouth of the seed, nor out of the mouth of thy seed's seed. You see, so that the testimony of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai that has been ordained to go to the men, to the prophets, down to their sons, down to their sons' sons, down to their sons' sons, is never going to depart, man.
That's right.
That's beautiful, man. That's what you're seeing today. You're seeing that today, man. You see? No, it's just the demon, man. Don't worry about it. So you want Ezekiel 9?
Yeah, let's go to Ezekiel 9.
It's Ezekiel. So I can do it.
Hey, we're not out here talking to everybody. We're out here the ones sighing and crying. We're not out here for people playing games, walking around acting a damn fool. Let's get straight.
Ezekiel 9:4. And Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem.
Jerusalem talking about Israel. Not
Israelite.
Yeah, that was Jake.
That was Jake right there.
And Israel's everywhere, right? So the scripture say go in the midst of Jerusalem, which is a people before it is a place.
That's right.
Are these people right here.
Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations.
Let's get Revelation 14. And then I want to get Proverbs.
Okay. Revelation 14. Start at verse. Okay.
Yeah.
This is Revelation 14:1. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads.
So Revelation says the elect will have the Most High's name written in their foreheads. And just like the prophet Ezekiel, told the men with him, go out and put a mark on the ones that sigh and cry. So let's figure out what that mark is.
Proverbs 18:10.
Done.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 18, verse 10. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. Okay, Proverbs 18:10. The name of Yahweh is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe.
The righteous runneth into it and are safe. That is the name of Yahweh. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Okay, like that, and that links directly up with Revelation 14. That's not marked. Don't the scriptures say that in I believe I think Acts 2:21 says they that call on the name of the Lord shall be delivered.
That's right. That's what we're looking for, man. We're looking for salvation, man. That's why we're out here casting the net. See what I'm saying? This word that we're preaching is a net. All right, and this net is going to be cast out into the waters, which the waters are what the people. All right, it's going to bring in. We're looking to bring in the elect, the good fish, as well. What this net's going to do is going to bring in crabs, shrimp, catfish. You see what I'm saying? But within, when you bring the net in, what do you got to do? You got to separate the clean from the unclean. See, and this is what we're doing right now. We're casting the net out. Okay, and this word, okay, that we're going forth is that mark. Okay, that word mark in the Hebrew in Ezekiel 9:4, I want to say is the wah. all right, which goes into an exemption of judgment.
Matter of fact, I want to get that.
Come on, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Actually, if you get the word Mark, Ezekiel 9:4 for the brother.
Jeremiah 16:16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, said Yahweh, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill, and out of the holes of the rocks.
Right, man. Hey, the men of the Lord eventually aren't going to be out here fishing. Eventually, we're going to be hunters. Okay, and all you wicked people, all you heathens, y'all going to be hiding in the mountains, hiding out in the sea, under the sea, you know, underground. And the Spirit of the Lord is going to be on us to go find you. You know, you're not going to run or hide from Yahweh Shem Shai.
That's right.
You're not going to hide from your judgment.
Right, and that time's coming up real soon, man. You can tell the Spirit how the prophecy is going. But right now, like the brother's going, so we're in fishing season right now. We're still trying to seal the elect. We're still casting out that word, okay, which is that, like the brother went into, okay? And so the same thing we read in Ezekiel 9:4, set the mark on the man, on the foreheads of men and sign, and cry for the abominations. What he said after that, go through and smite, you know, say everybody, pretty much, you know? That's what's happening right now. We're in a time of grace, but that grace brings closer, man. So as soon as that elect is sealed, man, that's when, hey, that destruction's coming, man. When the scriptures talk about Revelation, the angels are holding back those winds. It says hold it back until the elect is sealed. And once we're done out here fishing, all right, and out here preaching this word, man, that's what's going to time for great judgment. It's going to come upon the rest of the people.
It's all right. I want you to get that little mark in Ezekiel 9:4.
This is the word mark in Ezekiel 9:4. It's H8420. Tawah. It says desire, mark as a sign of exemption from judgment.
Come on, hey, that mark is a sign of exemption from judgment. So, hey, and so when you got the fear of Yahweh Shem Shai, you know, and His protection, you know, that basically that's that mark which exempts you from judgment.
Yeah, this is the Strong's definition. It says a mark. It says by implication a signature. You know, so it's a signature or a mark. You know that is you are exempt from the judgment to come.
Yep. Hey, recognize that you're a prince of the power, man. And come back to the Heavenly Father. Who's Yahweh Shem Shai.
That's right.
Only He's gonna be able to protect you in that day.
I got a real quick. Ashar, could you get that word? Could you pull up Revelation 2:17? Get that word stone. Revelation chapter 2, verse 17. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the hidden manna, and will give him a white stone, and in the stone a new name written, which no man knoweth, saveth he that receiveth it. All right. Now we're going to get this word white stone in the Greek.
This is G5586. It's Cephos. It says a small, worn, smooth stone, a pebble. In the ancient courts.
This is what I want. Go ahead.
In the ancient courts,
right?
Of justice, the accused were condemned by black pebbles.
Right. So in the ancient court system, you would have a set of stones, and the accused and the guilty would be given a black stone. Now, if you see the movie, The Knowing, that came out with what's that nigga's name? Nicolas Cage. All right. When you watch that movie, The Knowing, towards the end of the movie, you had his children. You had his son, and then he was dealing with a woman that was one of his friends, and she had a daughter. And there was pretty much aliens, quote unquote, that was trying to get them and take them up into heaven, into a UFO, before fire burnt up the whole place. Now, towards the end of the movie, Nicolas Cage was given a black stone. which the black stone goes into the accused, and the children in the movie had white stones. Go ahead.
It says condemned by a black pebble and be acquitted by white. It said
They acquitted by white stones. See, and that's that mark. We're looking to be exempt from judgment, to have the mark, or the thawah of righteousness, the thawah of deliverance versus the thawah of being accused.
It says on account of the use of pebbles in votes,
Right.
in voting.
Right. No, you good.
Psalms chapter 32, starting verse 1. Blessed is he whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered. Blessed is the man unto whom the Lord imputeth not iniquity, and in whose spirit there is no guile. Okay, so you blessed, man. That's what we're looking for, man. That links up to that. You know who the Lord is not going to impute iniquity unto. That's who's going to get that white stone.
That's right.
Okay, because we're all worthy of death on this side. But there's a certain election. Okay, a certain people prophesy from the foundation of the earth that the Most High chose to be delivered in this time, man. And then they're the ones that are going to be blessed. Why? They're going to have the understanding. They're going to have the will, and they're going to try to exemplify the will of Yahweh Bashim Shah as much as possible in these latter times, man. They're going to seek unto the Heavenly Father versus seek unto death, which is what America pushes, man. And there's nothing you can do of your works to do that, man. You can only do so much to hope that you're chosen. All right? Because we don't know if we're chosen. That's why the scripture said, give diligence to make you call and election sure. There are going to be 144,000 men that are going to raise up and teach his word, who are going to receive that white stone that the brothers read in Revelation, man. And that's what we're out here to do, man. To put the spirit and teach the doctrine knows it. Okay?
And if I can make a point too, the elect and the 1/3 are also going to deny that mark of the beast, right? Which is the mark on the left-hand side, because Esau always trying to counteract the Most High, you know, making himself a god. You know, so Esau got his mark, you know.
I got that scripture for you. Revelations 13-16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
Small, great, rich, poor, free, bond, man. It doesn't matter who you are. It's going to be mandatory to take that mark. Okay?
Verse 17.
And that word mark is different from the word mark in Ezekiel 9:4. It's in the Greek karag, which means an incision. Okay? And it's something that's implanted inside of you, man. That only fits the RFID microchip. It's not Christianity, it's not embargo, it's not any of this other madness that these other camps are teaching, man.
Right.
Okay? It only fits that bill, man, which is that RFID microchip, which they're pushing on everyone, man. People are already starting to take it voluntarily, but pretty soon, like I said, it's going to be mandatory, man. Right. And that's the only way you're ever going to be able to buy and sell, man, and be able to flourish in society, man. And at that point, you're going to have to rely on your Yahweh Bashim Shah and believe that you're covered in that, man. That's right. What the electors do. They're not going to submit, because when you take that shit, man, when you read at the 14th chapter, it says you have certain death coming, so you can't, even if you take it and get it removed, man, you can already submit it, man. Okay, those people are going to have certain death in their time, you know?
There's going to be temptations to take the mark too.
Yeah.
You know, you got companies right now making it mandatory for their employees to take the mark. Okay, so that's a temptation. You know, oh, hey, I ain't gonna have a job now.
That's right.
You know, the scriptures say, like the brother was reading in 15. You want to read 15?
16. Revelation 13-16. It's like verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that hath the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
God, you're not going to be able to buy anything without the mark. It goes for food, it goes for houses, anything, you name it. So basically rendering you what? Man, just homeless person just out there. And like the brother said, you're going to have to depend on the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Shah to save you. Right?
The thing is, man, you ain't gonna be able to, like the brother said, you ain't gonna be able to guard nothing. You ain't gonna be able to get no water. You're not gonna be able to work. You're gonna need a chip to have a driver's license, to have car insurance, to to have health insurance. So if you get sick, if you need to buy some medical supplies and things of that nature, they're going to require what? They're going to require the chip for you to get what you need. See, and people are going to flock to it, man. And what's going to happen in the beginning, you know, speaking as a man, man, these celebrities and stuff, they're going to be pushing. You know what I'm saying? Unlocking their car doors and turning on lights with the chip, doing all kinds of other things with it. You know, Apple probably going to promote it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. They gonna make it cool for people that work, that people that these celebrities, like the brother said, that they worship. They're gonna make it cool. They can already see it, you know. In the Fat Joe video, lean back, man. He slid his hand across the elevator and went upstairs. They got a club in Spain called Baja Club, to where they have to get access to that club. You have to use a microchip for years now. You know, so it's gonna come a time where they're gonna make that shit cool as hell. There's gonna be some type of so-called dope ass rhyme about it, and it's gonna have everybody flocking to it.
You're gonna have babies get hungry, man. Hey, well, how are you gonna feed your babies? How are you gonna feed your children without that mark? Man, there's another temptation right there. A lot of these women are gonna run to that mark. Hey, Yahweh Shai said, "Woe unto those who give suck in those days, and are with child." I'm going to paraphrase.
You know, they're gonna also, I mean, they already have it in the work, in their paperwork, that the children, whenever they're born, they're gonna be automatically marked. They're gonna be automatically implanted with the chip. You know, so that's gonna be one of the ways they're gonna push it also. They're gonna, okay, if you have a baby, he has to have the chip in order to make it in society.
You want to have your baby out in the woods somewhere. It's gonna be hell out here, man. Jacob's trouble is right around the corner.
Right.
It's gonna be all man for temptation. Like I said, as far as some women, the women gonna make a lot of men go get that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because he's already men. So a lot of our men are subjected to their women in this society. They're henpecked, they're ran over, and a bunch of beta males walking around here. So a lot of men are gonna take their shit because of their woman. You know, it's gonna be all like what I said. Jacob's trouble. And all our temptations gonna be wild out here. There's gonna be all types of ways out here.
You know, all it's what we call the Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
It's gonna really be the Wild Wild West out here.
That's right.
Dog eat dog, man. Where you gonna have to say your life is gonna be on the line, man. Yep. He's saying he saw straight there, man. So why is he doing that? To put himself in the seat of Yahweh Shem Shah and every father, man. He said you're gonna have to completely rely on me in that day to sustain yourself, man. You're gonna look at me as God. You know, and that's why that judgment's so great for that microchip. Because really completely submit yourself to the left hand side, man. Worship on the left hand side.
Yep.
Right. I got a precept real quick. Just came to mind. This is Isaiah 47:1. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." I'm going to jump down to the point. Isaiah 47:1. "I'll come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans."
Right. You're the virgin daughter of Babylon, man. That spiritual today is America, man. Okay? Because America hasn't been touched. Okay? But it's going to be touched real soon according to prophecy, man. But it's Babylon because what? What's the Hebrew? Babal, man. Confusion, man. And it says sit down in the dust, man. When you sit down in the dust, you're confused, you're low. And that's what's happening, man. The Most High is putting more and more confusion amongst this place and bringing America down, man. Taking them out of his power seat, man. So he's raising up other nations against America. He's losing America's revenue. He's taking that shine that America so-called had at one time. You know?
Right, so that the point is, man, you need to rely on Yahweh Shem Shai. You know, that strong tower, man. If you want to make it out of this, man.
That ain't straight up. Verse 2. "Take the millstones and grind meal, uncover the locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, Yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man.
Sounds like a metaphor for a woman getting ravaged. Make bare the thigh. Take bone with the
Yeah, it said make bare. Uncover thy locks, make bare the thigh. Make bare the leg, uncover the thigh. You know, and the Lord said He's not going to meet this place as a man. Okay, because when Yahushua was on the earth 2,000 years ago, He was actually in the flesh, in the physical form, whereas He could bleed. You know what I'm saying? He could get hurt. He could, you know, he got put to death. But when the Lord comes back, who the world calls Jesus, which His name is Yahushua, when He returns, okay, He's not going to meet this place as a man. Okay, He's going to meet this place as a power, as a supernatural, extraterrestrial power, man.
That's right.
See, an angelic being. Okay, and He's going to bring with Him the Holy Host, man, the chariots. You see what I'm saying? What the world calls UFOs, unidentified flying objects, they're not unidentified to us. They are IFOs. They're the chariots of the Lord, man. Okay? And that's what the Lord is going to bring with the Holy Host and the angels to bring vengeance to America, man.
Right.
America is written in the scriptures known as Babylon the Great, the mother of all harlots. Okay? The place where the sins have stacked to heaven. See? Continue on.
I'll say this about that make their leg, that's representative of this place being revealed right. Okay, America was once that great land of opportunity where they like I said, it was a land of opportunity. All your wildest dreams come true here, man. You know, that great American dream they push. And you come here, you realize there's nothing but a damn life. America's just one big cesspool. It's one big 7-Eleven toilet, man. It's where homosexuals are running around free, rampant. Okay, pedophiles are running around free. You know, bestiality is legal in certain states, man. The women are put over the men. The kids are put over the men. All our masculinity is being attacked here in America, man. If you're a straight male, man, you're going to attack, man. Everyone's getting rights but the straight man. You know? And specifically the Israelite straight man. You know? It's all against the Most High's men. Okay? We're the link to Yahweh Shah, so the only ones that are being attacked are the men of the Lord.
Right.
You know?
Going into that, make yourself afraid. By being righteous.
And if I could say another way how the leg is being made bare and the leg is being uncovered is by this image down here, man. Okay, when you type in Jesus in Google, you know, in the Google search bar, what's the image you're gonna see? You're gonna see a so-called white man with blonde hair and blue eyes. Okay, which that really goes back to a deity, a Greco-Egyptian deity by the name of Serapis Christus. Okay, which if you Google Serapis, which he's nothing but a Google search away. If you Google Serapis Christus, he was a Greco-Egyptian god which was worshipped in the reign of Ptolemy Soter. Okay, Ptolemy the First, which he was the pharaoh of Egypt in the time of the four generals. You see what I'm saying? And he literally made his son into an image as a god, which is where you get modern day Jesus from today. Okay, this is where you get this from. Okay, now you do have images of a man by the name of Cesare Borgia, which lived in the late 1300s, early 1400s. Okay, in the Renaissance era. Okay, but chiefly, if you want to go back to the origin of where Jesus Christ came from, it goes back to a pagan god by the name of Serapis Christus.
Right.
Okay, because when you read the Bible, it tells you what the Lord looks like. Okay, and secondly, the nature of the Lord, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus' nature, okay, doesn't resemble this man's nature. When you look at this image, you think of nothing but love. You think of nothing but peace. You think of flowers. You think when the Lord, when Jesus comes back, what's going to happen? He's going to save everybody. It's going to be rainbows and lollipops being handed out to everybody, popsicles and high fives, man. Now,
accepting everything.
Yeah, you get the vision of accepting everything, because under this image, what do you accept? Under this image, you accept homosexuality. Under this image, you accept pedophilia. Under this image, you accept bestiality. Okay? But under Yahushua, which that's his real name in the Bible, his name isn't Jesus. He's a Hebrew Israelite, which had a Hebrew name.
Right.
Underneath Yahushua, okay, there's judgments, there's laws, statutes, and commandments that need to be followed in order to be looked at and accepted. Now, it all goes back to if you're justified at the end of the day, if you're one of the elect. But the scripture says faith without works is dead. And what's the works? Following what's written in the book.
That's right.
That's your
To the
ability.
best of your ability. Okay, not eating pork. Okay, not committing adultery. Not being a homosexual. Not lying to your neighbor. Okay, not defrauding your neighbor. Not committing usury upon your own people, man.
Right.
You see? Not being a shyster. Okay? Go ahead.
Like I said this real quick, and you can only do that if you're an Israelite.
Right.
This
right.
book isn't for everybody.
Right.
From Genesis to Revelation, man, the Lord said it himself. He came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Right.
Those Gentiles that the church teaches about, those are Israelites that were in a Gentile state of mind, lost their religion, so to speak, or lost the ways. They were following the evil. Okay? Those are Gentiles that are being brought back to the New Testament. Those are Israelites as well.
Yeah,
man.
turn over.
Who is it? Who are the Israelites? The real Israelites. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, man. Okay? According to the curses, man, you're the true children of Israel, man.
Right.
Okay? This book is only for you, man. It's time to wake up, man. The Lord is on his way back to destroy this place, man. To deliver his people out of this system, man. Our people have done nothing but called hell here, man, since we've been in this inception, man.
That's right.
They think they make $20 an hour, $35 an hour, think they winning, man. No, you still a slave, man. You still under the slave of the so-called white man who was an Edomite according to the Bible. Okay? This place ain't no fun. You didn't come over here on no love boat, no cruise ship, man. We came over on cargo slave ships, and that's in the scriptures. Okay? But hey, this, like I said, this book is for our people, man. The only one that can follow the law, statutes, commandments are you Israelites, man.
This is Matthew 10, verse 34. It says, think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword.
Right. Now, if you read in the Bible, if you got a red letter Bible, those words are written in red. Which means what? That means that the Lord is speaking, the Messiah. Yahweh is speaking. Read that again.
Matthew 10, verse 34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword.
So Yahweh said that he came not to send peace, but a sword. Okay, and what do you do with a sword? You kill with a sword. See, you divide things with a sword. Execute judgment with a sword. You see what I'm saying? So that's what the Lord is coming back to do, to render judgment and to execute vengeance upon the heathen and 2/3 of our own people, man. Because we talk about how the Lord is going to deliver only the nation of Israel, that's beautiful. But 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are also going to die.
That's right.
By the Lord. Why? Because you disobey his commandments. You don't accept what he commands you to do. You get offended at his word. You see? And then you scoff at the men that the Lord set up to teach you. You see? So 2/3 of our own people are going to die in Babylon and throughout the four corners of the earth, man. A lot of it's going to happen here, though, man. Here in America.
Luke 19 and 27.
Right.
But those my enemies which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me.
Salakia, can you please read that one more time?
Luke 19 and 27. But those my enemies which would not that I should reign over them, come bring hither and slay them before me.
Right, so the Lord said, bring them hither, bring these people that don't want me to reign before them, and slay them before me. All right? Now you can get the NET. Oh, NET. Yeah, just get that one. Yeah, Luke. Now read Luke 19 and 27 again. Now this verse is in a whole nother translation. Like we reading out the King James version, right? Now we'll see what it's 19 and 47.
47.
Right, 19 and 47.
This is Luke 19 and 47 in the NIV. NET. It says
19 and
1947. Yeah, I scrolled down.
I'm sorry, it was 19 and 27. That's my bad.
All right. It says Jesus was teaching daily in the temple court.
That's the one. 19 and 27. That's my word.
All right. It says, but as for these enemies of mine who did not want me
Now
to
this
be
is in the new, I forgot what the NET stands for.
New English.
New English translation, maybe? Read that.
New English.
Right.
But as for these enemies of mine who did not want me to be their king,
Who did not, as for these enemies of mine who did not want me to be their king, which 2/3 of our people don't want Yahweh Shah to reign over them. You see? They think that following the law, statutes, and commandments and what the Lord wants you to do is too grievous. It's too hard. You see? What did the Lord say? Go ahead.
it says, bring them here bring them here and slaughter them in front of you.
The Lord said, bring them here and slaughter them before me. Slaughter. Slaughter them before me. That's what the Lord is going to do when he returns, man. He's going to do a lot of slaughtering, a lot of killing.
That's right.
A lot of bloodshed is going to take place on the planet Earth, man. That should fear you so-called you Israelites, okay? It should fear you to get right, man. Because you don't want to be on the bad side of the Lord when he returns, man.
Right.
All hell is going to be breaking loose, man. You don't want the Lord
Put to death.
So I can read that again.
2 Chronicles 15:13. That whosoever would not seek the Lord power of Israel should be put to death, whether small or great, whether man or woman.
Read that one more time.
Verse 2 Chronicles 15:13. That whosoever will not seek the Lord power of Israel should be put to death.
Whosoever shall not seek Yahweh, the God of Israel, shall be put to death. That's straightforward and direct. There's no gray areas in between that. There's no, well, the Lord, what he really meant was, nah, what he really said was that if you don't seek after the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you will be put to death.
That's right.
You will die. Go ahead.
Whether small or great,
Whether small or great,
whether man or woman.
whether man or woman. So the Lord ain't gonna have compassion on these females out here, man.
Right.
Everybody want to talk about, well, that's a female, man. You got some girl you speaking too rough around the ladies, man. Hey, the Lord speak very rough around women, man. Somebody get Proverbs 13:13 real quick. That's the spirit. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Colossians chapter 3 verse 25. But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he hath done, and there is no respect of person.
Right. So the Lord has no respect of persons, man. Okay. You could be in this thing for 65 years preaching the truth, but if sincerely inside you was still wicked, you was still being a demon putting on the front, the Lord is not going to have respect of persons for you just for how long you was teaching.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Being a woman.
Right? Or a woman.
You know, like the brother said, that's a female, bro. No, man, the stuff we having to these females and that continues to happen, that's increasing for these females, that's judgment from the Heavenly Father, man.
That's right.
Because females have been running around rampant, loose as hell, man, across the planet Earth, man. Been taken off the chain and been put over the man, so now they're able to do what the hell they want to do. But now, since they've been able to do that, now they're being judged for it, man. Being loose, promiscuous, stiff-necked, okay, putting hell on the men, okay? All those things, now that judgment's coming. That's why I see a lot of women getting slept, getting put to death on the internet.
Right.
That's all judgment from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, man. There ain't no respect for person down here, man.
That's right.
So, you know,
If I may say, man, there was this story I seen where this guy, it was in Salt Lake City, Utah, I believe. Bro, he had got a jet. He was mad at his woman. He had got a jet and flew the damn jet into the house when she was in there and killed her. Killed himself. That's judgment from the Lord.
right.
At the end of the day, that was judgment from Yahweh. Man, just imagine, man, how did that person end up dying, man? She got hit by a jet. She got hit by an airplane. Bro, that doesn't happen every day. I seen this one video on the internet where this woman, it was this goop that was walking down the sidewalk, and the damn dog just fell out the sky and knocked her out and hit her in the back of her neck, man. The damn dog just came falling out the sky, and she boop, dog ran up and ran off, and the lady was asleep on the ground, knocked completely out.
Hey, brother, if I can land back, you have certain groups that are set up that are anti-feminist. Case in point, the MGTOW movement, man, go your own way movement.
Big time.
Big time. So you got more and more. You got really started with these Edomites, man. They're fed up with these Edomite women that had to conduct themselves with all feminists and stuff like that. So
That's right.
more and more, you got these different groups that are saying, you know what, man, just handle your own business. Go your own way, have your own. Now, and also you have women out there that are actually coming up against feminism. I forget her name. She came out with a book, basically went through the statistics that how more and more men out there are opting out of being married, man. So so the gig is up for you women, man, especially women on this side.
That's right.
There's a reason why a black woman can't get married. There's a reason why you Latinos, man, having all these kids, man, with all these people, man. Because the people are tired. Men are tired of it, man. time for us to pull up that anymore, man. Ultimately, Yahweh Shemiah Shah's tired of it.
Right.
You see? Judgments is starting to happen, man. That's why you're seeing more and more of these cops now harass so-called black women. You got Edomites that are driving Jeeps, telling the so-called black woman to go back to Africa, man.
Yep. That's right, man. A lot of judgment going forth, man. It's gonna continue. It's gonna continue to get worse, man.
Hey, even you got these groups, man. These hair shops, okay, these nail salons. Bro, they jumping the nigga woman, man. Like there was like 6 goots and they just beat the hell out of these 2 nigga women, bro, with brooms and different objects. They just jumped on them, man, in the nail salon. Then it's outside of the little hair stores. One dude just punched Eve right in the face, man. It started leaking, man. And they walked back in the store like ain't shit happened. You know, it's a lot of that judgment. It's coming out, man. You know, I got this real quick. Isaiah 32, verse 8. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters.
Right, and the women that's at ease are you so-called Negro, Latino, Native American women, man. Specifically, you so-called Negro, nigga woman, man. Okay, you want to be Afrocentric, Black Power, feminist movement, Cardi B worshiping women. The scripture says, rise up, you women that are at ease, man, because they at ease over here in Babylon, man. All they gotta do is dial that 3-digit code. If anything happens, all they gotta do is call that 3-digit number, and they gonna believe that they gonna be good. All they gotta do is call 911. Okay, they feel like they can live off the Section 8 food stamps. Okay, they can have a baby, but they can have a baby by a dude, right? Be plotting it in their mind while having the baby. Like, oh yeah, well I'm pregnant now. Yeah, after when I had this baby, I'm putting him on child support. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna get half of this funds. I'm not gonna be working, so I'm gonna have to be put on. I'm gonna have to get food stamps. I'm gonna have to be put on Section 8. And then the money that she receives, okay, from the child support, what does she do? She uses that on her nails. She uses that on her hair. She put all that goddamn weave in her hair, and then the daughter walking around with a damn puffball over here and half her side down over there, just completely looking like a mess, man.
Torn in their hair and shit.
Yeah, badass kids just running, just being demons throughout the whole planet Earth. Why? Because you got a lot of women that are raising up these young men and these young women, man.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of these men are emotional, so-called gang bangers, man. That shit ain't cool. A lot of reason why a lot of niggas be joining gangs like the Bloods and the Crips is because they was raised by their mamas, man. And they're hella emotional, man. That's why you step on the shoe, what happens? Pow! All of a sudden now you dead because you stepped on the shoe. You walking down with a blue shirt on, pow! You dead over a color. Over a color, man.
Over a neighborhood or a block or a street that your black ass don't even own.
God.
Right.
It all belongs to so-called white man. Niggas out here fighting over streets, over 2 blocks. You know?
Shit crazy.
It's a bugged out, man.
Go ahead.
Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled.
Many days and many years shall ye be troubled, man. It's going to be a very troubling time coming to the world, man. And you women that don't have no protection from a man of the Lord, okay, you're going to be caught out here looking bad, man. Getting raped, getting ravished, getting killed, being used and being traded for spoil. You're going to have somebody that has a can of beans and somebody going to have a woman, man. You're going to be traded as collateral on that thing, man.
Right.
See? Being straight up, man. You know, women be on their periods, man. They ain't going to have no tampons. Going to be stinking. You know what I'm saying? Because you know when a woman, man, when she can't change herself, man, they begin to stink. That stench comes out. It's gonna, man, you women, man, and then when your gonorrhea, man, when you can't use those pills and those medicines to cover up those STDs that you have, they're gonna be all exposed in that day. See, go ahead.
For the vengeance shall fail, the gathering shall not come.
The vintage shall fail and the gathering shall not come, man. And that vintage goes into the benefits, man. The benefits that you receive on this side. Like I was saying earlier, it's Section 8. Your food stamps. See what I'm saying? Right. All the benefits that you receive from who? The so-called white man. Esau Edom, the one that tells you, okay, if there's no man in the house, we're gonna give you X amount of benefits. But if you have a man in the house, we ain't gonna give you this. See? That's what's coming, man. This whole feminist movement and shit. That's the Lord sparking that up to its height so that you women can be brought down, man.
Right.
On a very, 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 very low state, man. You're gonna be put back on the You gonna know your place, man. Go ahead.
Tremble ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, be careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins.
Right, man. So humble yourselves, man. You women that are listening, that hey, and if you offended, if any women's listening, you offended, hey, the shoe fits, man. Okay. Now I'm not saying that every single woman out here that's not trying is just that goes into the scripture, because you do have women that try, but the majority of the women fit the scripture, man. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna be troubled many days, so humble down and put sackcloth upon your loins and repent, man. Be humble. Know your place as a woman. Go ahead.
Isaiah 13 and 15. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through. Everyone that is joined.
Can you start up at verse? Can you start up at verse maybe 13 or 14?
Yeah, I just want to get to it. Isaiah 13.
You can find a good places.
In 12. Actually, I started 11. Isaiah 13, 11. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity.
Right. How is the Lord going to punish the world for their evil? By way of World War III. Okay, as well as thermonuclear missiles being shot from Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, Saudi Arabia, okay, Turkey, different NATO allies shooting missiles at this place, man. That's how the Lord is going to visit this place by fire, and with the chariots. That's
right. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible.
And lay low the haughtiness of the terrible, man. So the arrogancy of the proud is going to cease, man. And who is the main arrogant, proud one on the planet Earth? It's these so-called white people walking up and down the streets, man. Okay? And the black woman. The Israelite women. You see? Go ahead.
I will make a man more precious than fine gold.
I'm going to make a man. Read that again, Bible Kashar.
I will make a man more precious than fine gold.
So the Lord said he's going to make a man more precious than fine gold. See? Not a woman. He's going to make a man more precious than fine gold. Because in that day, as the scripture says, 7 women shall take hold upon one man. You see what I'm saying? A woman going to be seeking it for protection in that day, man. If you a man of the Lord and the Lord dealing with you in that day, when it's clearly shown that the Lord is dealing with you and you being protected, women gonna be trying to follow after you, man. You're gonna have to be beating women off with a stick, man. You see? Literally beating them off of you, man. Get the hell away from me, man. You trying to still work out your own salvation. But he's gonna make a man more precious than fine gold. Go ahead.
Even a man then the gold wedge of Ophir. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of Yahweh of hosts.
Right, so the heavens are going to shake and the earth is going to remove out of its place because of the wrath of Yahweh. Okay? And like we said earlier, man, how is the heavens going to shake? The heavens is going to shake when these missiles hit this place, man. Because this ain't no atomic bomb that was dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, man. Okay, the atomic bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki back in the 1940s was equivalent to a water gun compared to what the Lord has now.
That's right.
You see the water gun, you get squirted a little bit, you may laugh, wipe it off. No, man, these missiles that the Lord has now can knock off whole coasts, blow up a whole city. One missile, one Satan 2 missile from Russia could knock off the whole East Coast, man.
Yeah, I believe it's Russia that Satan you're talking about. It can destroy one of them, destroy the whole state of Texas.
Yep.
That's the blast radius, bro. Texas is what top 3 largest states in America, man.
Yeah.
You can fit. Let's say you can fit everyone in America in the state of Texas. Everyone can live comfortably. That's how big Texas is. East to west, 12, 13 hours. North to south, it's like 17 hours drive. Texas is big as hell, man. And one nuclear missile can take out Texas.
That's right.
You know, that's the level that the Most High is coming on right now. That's the level of judgment that's coming to this place. All right.
Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of Yahweh of hosts, and in the day of his furious anger. And it shall be as the chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up.
Yep, go ahead.
that they shall every man turn to his own people.
They shall every man turn to his own people, and that's why you're seeing these different nations turn and go back to where they came from, man.
Right.
A lot of these Elamites turning back, going back to the nation of India. You see, people are actually looking at this place like, man, you know what? I done got my money from here, man. I'm about to go back home, man. Go ahead.
Gone. Chapter.
Gone.
Everybody's gonna go to their own land.
Yep.
Or turn to their own people. Yep. That's what we see going on now. You're seeing more and more of these so-called radical groups on both sides of the political parties emerge. Case in point, what's that? Antifa, and then you have on the other side you have the white nationalists. Both of them are deemed terrorists by the government. You see, and both of them are getting more and more radical. Right now, what you got going on in Oregon basically is a damn coup. You got the white nationalists banging against Antifa. So there's a war going, a little skirts going on out there, man. That's really not even being talked about. And it's nothing but white people that's acting like damn fool out there too, by the way.
Right.
Yep. You know. But verse 15, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword.
Right, man. So it's going to be a lot of death and bloodshed that's going to take place here in these streets, man. The Lord going to bring martial law back in a big way. Getting dragged out your house at 3 o'clock in the morning. You see what I'm saying? Getting dragged out your house at 3 o'clock in the morning, getting thrown into the back of a FEMA truck, and getting tossed into a FEMA camp, man, and getting your limbs cut off, getting dipped in hydrochloric acid, getting burned alive. And the Lord has very, very gruesome methods of torture set up for 2/3 of our people, man. Anything beyond, things beyond what we can even imagine, too. Go ahead.
The children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes.
But they said their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes, man. You see?
Badass kids.
Yeah, them badass kids, man. The Lord gonna put those badass kids to death
Right.
in front of you.
Take me back, man.
You see what I'm saying? In front of you, the Lord is gonna put those kids to death right before your eyes, man. If you're not good with the Lord, man, that's like you was going into last week, man. That's worse than death, man. Seeing your own children die in front of you, getting raped in front of you, getting a bullet put to their head in front of you.
Right.
Go ahead.
The houses shall be spoiled, and the wives ravished.
Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. What is that going to? Their wives being ravished goes into being raped. Okay? Being taken for a spoil, man. Getting taken. See? Rape is coming back in a big way, man. You got everybody calling us rapists on the internet. Well, the Lord gonna show you people what rape really is, man. He gonna show you what it really is, man. See you getting violated. Your wives getting raped in front of you.
Possibly you.
Say it again.
Possibly you.
Yeah, possibly you. See what I'm saying? You man, because these different troops, man, these troops that come from foreign nations, man, they all faggots and they got all kinds of demented things in their mind, man. They ain't no telling what they're gonna be doing, man.
They not from America, so they really don't give a shit. You know? Like I said, they're gonna bring in troops from different UN nations, different countries to come to participate in this martial law, man. And they really gonna be wholehearted. They don't give a damn. Some soldiers gonna have a little bit of a conscience, you know, but they still carry out orders. But the other troops, hey, zero fucks in that day. Excuse my language, you know. So they're gonna be really sick in the mid and going hard as hell, man. You know.
But think about it, though. If you are a foreign a soldier, would you care about Americans? The same people that have been bombing your territories for years and controlling your economy indirectly by sanctions and laws. Would you care about these people? If you're coming over here to police these fat, disgusting Americans, if I was coming over here, I wouldn't. They're gonna have the same sentiment, you know what I'm saying, that you American have of them. They're gonna have for you.
That's right.
When you go to these Trump rallies and say, "Oh, just bomb them to hell," well, those people that you saying to bomb and things of that nature, man. When they get a chance to get their hands on you, man, they're not gonna show any constraint because you haven't shown any constraint to them.
That's right.
Generally speaking, the so-called white man.
That's right. so-called white man troops over there in other different countries, you know they're going hard on women and men out there. So they looking for itching for a chance to get y'all shit.
Yeah, you had stories coming out when they were going on. It was literally called rape rampages, where they were going from city to city and just raping the young children. I mean, not the young children, but the women. Just literally going from city to village and raping those children, raping kids. Then you had another dude, he was just going from village to village and just killing innocent civilians. You know? So that's going to come back over here in a big way. They talk about that in Galatians 6 and 7. Whatever you do, you're going to reap. Loosely paraphrasing. How much more so for a place like this, America? You know, and you have a lot of people out here, man, that's listening to these words and things that nature, they really think that it's a game. A lot of people are going to get judged that day. By you being on these comment boards and also listening out here on the highways and byways, you can be judged too.
Right.
You know, see, most sides not playing, man. All the things that this brother right here is describing can potentially happen to your family if you're not taking heed. You see what I'm saying? If you're not paying attention, and a lot of our people aren't paying attention, man. So a lot of our people going to be destroyed. It's going to go, and it's going into purpose. This brother's bringing it out perfectly, man. And he's prescribing it to the T what's going to happen, man. To our women and to our men. The Most High has some very serious dead angels, man, that's ready to inhabit this place. That's ready to come down and do the will of the Heavenly Father, man. You see? But you got a lot of our people that want to play games, man. They don't consider this as a label of love, man. And a lot of people going to be destroyed.
That's right.
Frankly speaking, and rightfully so.
2/3, man. 2/3 got to be destroyed, man. Because 2/3 don't want to take heed. See? Oh, you got anything you got to say? Say it. Go ahead. Bring it up.
This is Job, chapter 4 and verse 7. And it reads, remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off?
Right. So whoever perished being innocent, and where were the righteous cut off, man? So when you see when you see death takes place, you think, oh man, that person was innocent, man. He was a good person. No, man, he getting judged for what he did in the past life, man, or he getting judged for something that he did in this life.
Right.
See, the Lord never has it whereas somebody dies by mistake.
That's right.
An accidental stray bullet shot my 2-year-old daughter when she was playing with her toys in the living room. There wasn't no accidental bullet. That bullet went through that house and hit the mark perfectly the way that it was supposed to, man. And that death was ordained by the angels of the Lord, man. Go ahead.
Even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same.
Right, so they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness, you're going to reap the same, man. You're going to weep wickedness and iniquity, man. See? So if you live in your life just plowing iniquity, plowing transgression, just being a scumbag and a dirtbag, being a nigga, being a robber, being a thief, see? Just being a nigga, the Lord said you're going to reap the same, man. You're going to reap all that. Whatever you sow, man, you're going to reap it, man. That's why we out here sowing labors of love so we can reap forgiveness, man.
That's right.
We not perfect. We don't know if we going to make it. We hope that we can. We hope that we will. That's why we're out here doing this. That's why we come out so faithfully, man. Through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. Doing these lessons. Coming out in the highways and byways. You see? Every action has an equal and opposite reaction, man. See?
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 40 and verse 1. It says, great travail is created for every man. It says, and heavy yoke is upon the sons of Adam.
Right. And we are the sons of Adam. And a heavy yoke is upon us, man. From the fall of Adam, we've had this yoke upon us since then, man. Having to work, death was sown into us, man. Go ahead.
It says, from the day that they go out of their mother's womb till the day that they return to the mother of all things.
Right.
Verse 2. It says, their imagination of things to come and the day of death, their thoughts and fears of heart. It says,
Read that again.
it says, their imagination of things to come, and the day of death, their thoughts and fears of heart. Fear of heart. It says, from him that sitteth on the throne of glory.
From him that sitteth on the throne of glory, man.
Unseen.
Go ahead.
Unto him that is humble in the earth
Dan, please don't take
and
Thank you.
and ashes.
Read that again.
It says, from him that sitteth on the throne of glory, unto him that is humble in earth and ashes.
And earth and ashes, talking about us. Go ahead.
It says, from him that weareth purple and a crown, unto him that is clothed with a linen frock.
Salak, what verse are you in?
Verse 4.
Verse 4. Sirach 41 and 4.
40 and 4.
Can you read it real quick?
Salaki.
Sirach 40 and 4. From him that wears purple and the crown, unto him that is clothed with a linen frock.
Talking about those people that are in high positions. All right, so-called kings of the planet Earth. You know. Go ahead.
Wrath and envy, trouble and unquietness, fear of death and anger and strife, and in the time of rest upon his bed, his night sleep, do change his knowledge.
Change his knowledge, man. 'Cause at the end of the day, man, when the Lord got you, man, he got you. See what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 6. A little or nothing is his rest.
It's like it. That's why the scripture says, since sentence against the evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of the sons of men is fully set them to do evil. Just because judgment doesn't take place right now, you feel like you can just continue to do iniquity. You can continue to plow iniquity and continue to plow iniquity because, hey, the Lord hasn't done anything yet. Lord, if the Lord is so real, he hasn't done anything yet. Well, the Lord is just marking, he's just building up your tab, man. Whereas once your tab gets to a certain level, whereas you can't pay it back, the only way you can pay it back is by death, man. Go ahead.
Verse 6. A little or nothing is his rest, and afterward he is in his sleep, as in a day of keeping watch, troubled in the vision of his heart, as if he were escaped out of a battle. When all is safe, he awaketh and marveleth that the fear was nothing.
Okay, that's pretty much it. Oh, you did? Go ahead. Oh, you go ahead.
Sirach 39 and 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance,
Right.
which in their fury lay on sore strokes.
Right. And there'll be spirits that are created for vengeance, and in their fury that lay on sore strokes, man. And those spirits are talking about the angels. Okay? And the will and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, they're going to execute his orders. They're going to execute his judgments. Okay? Now with this whole Psalm 103 and 20. Spirits. Go ahead.
In the time of destruction, they shall pour out their force.
In the time of destruction, they're going to pour out their force, man. And what's the force consist of? Go ahead.
And appease the wrath of him that made them.
And they're going to appease the wrath of him that made them, man. So when the angels come out here and do mass damage and havoc on the planet Earth and mass death on the streets,
Right.
it's going to appease the Heavenly Father, man, because they're doing what the Heavenly Father commanded them to do. See? Go out there and have this man get hit by a Mack truck. The spirit of the angel is going to go on that driver for him to see that man walking across the street and for that truck to smack him, man. See?
This real quick. The scriptures say that it pleased the Most High to bruise Yahushua, man. It was a pleasure for that. And Yahushua walked on the earth perfectly. But he did have certain things he had to pay for in previous lives. But in the incarnation, it said it bruised and bruised. So how much more some of these wicked ass niggas walking around playing games and not taking their life seriously? Okay? Most High is going to smoke a lot of our people.
Hold that real quick.
Khan. This is Psalms chapter 103 and verse 20. And it reads, bless Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, ye his angels, that excel in strength.
That excel in strength. Okay? The angels are strong, man. They don't get tired. They don't take breaks. They don't need to take a nap. They don't need to drink a cup of water. The angels are always on active duty, 100% fully focused in the spirit. robot to the Lord in the mind, just completely in order. They're not going to transgress what he says. Everything the Lord tells an angel to do, they ain't going to look at the Lord like, well, I don't know, that sounds too gruesome. That's how you know that the story that they tell you about Satan and Satan disobeying God, and he got thrown down to hell because he disobeyed the Lord. That's a lie according to the scripture, because Satan is an angel. As they say, well, Satan was an angel. He was an angel of music, as the Christian church says.
That's not in the scriptures.
That's nowhere in the Bible. And they say that he disobeyed God and that the Lord cast him out. We'll read that again, because that's if he was an angel, how did this happen?
This is Psalms 103 in verse 20. Bless Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, ye his angels that excel in strength, that do his commandments.
That do his commandments. Go ahead.
Hearkening unto the voice of his word.
Hearkening unto the voice of his word. The angels obey the commandments of the Lord. So how was Satan an angel that disobeyed the Lord and got cast into hell? Does that make any sense? It doesn't make sense. Why? Because it's a lie.
I'm gonna create you and you're gonna rebel against me. I made you. I know exactly what your makeup is. I put you in. You think I can't take you out for rebelling against me? Man, it don't make no damn sense, man.
Not the Lord and the Yahweh and Satan just constantly. Somebody dies and they battling in the heavens and they get sent to hell. Yahweh, no, that ain't happening, bro. That ain't happening, man. The angels are on one accord and they are on 100% point of what the Lord says, man. You see? So the angels are going to do the bidding of the Lord. So let's go back to this.
If I may add real quick on just like this society has made Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai weak, man. You know what I'm saying? When you watch, like, if you pay attention to the movies, the horror movies, they show that in the movies, man. I was watching a movie, Ouija, one of those Ouija movies, and the little demon girl in the basement when the priest came up. Of course, most I ain't deal with the priest, but he came up and started chatting. I think it was the Lord's Prayer or something, and she hauls off and says, "He can't save you. He can't help you." So this is, and I'm thinking in my mind, the Lord can't, the Most High can't save, can't do anything, So this society has made Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai weak, man.
That's right, brother. That's beautiful, man. I'm just pointing at you.
That's exactly what this devil, man. Esau's son walking throughout the earth, man, of disobedience and rebellion, man. But it also go back to the brother called Ecclesiastes 8:11. That sins against evil work is not executed speedily. So the Most High just let this devil have his tongue walk throughout the earth and push all his BS to judgment at the end of the day. Another movie that played, that movie Legion, where Michael came down and was fighting against the will of the Heavenly Father, man. The top general is fighting against the will of the Heavenly Father for destruction, man. And him and Gabriel are down in a damn diner, battling it out. That's just another example of what the damn devil can do when he's in power, man.
That's all these damn lies out, man. It all goes back to Roman, Greco-Roman mythology, man. Hades and Zeus and things of that nature. That's what it all boils down to, man. Okay, that's what Christianity and Roman Catholicism goes back to. That's why Catholicism means a universal, having a pantheon of universal gods. You see?
I said real quick at the end of that movie, man. What does he tell Gabriel? You gave him what he wanted. I gave him what he needed. Most I don't need a damn thing from anybody, man. That's our whole job, is to do what the will of the Heavenly Father wants. And that's what the angels are afraid to do to carry out his will and his bidding, man.
That's right.
That's what you're supposed to do what the Most High wants, man. Because he doesn't need us. He doesn't need anything from us. All right? Scripture say he's omnipotent and omniscient, man. All knowing and all powerful. The Most High don't need nothing from us, man. This is back in Sirach chapter 39, verse 29. Fire and hell and famine and death, all these are created for vengeance.
Read that again.
Fire and hell and famine and death.
Fire and hail and famine and death. So when you're seeing these forest fires taking place in California, record number of heat in Italy. Okay, these famines that take place in Yemen, children dying of malnutrition and no food, no water. Sword. Okay, bombs dropping. Okay, that bus that just got hit in Yemen, and all them kids got blasted.
Bridge that collapsed in Italy.
That bridge that collapsed in Italy. You see all these things that take place when you see vengeance, and like, man, why would that happen? That's the Lord doing that, man. The Twin Towers falling when all those people died, that was vengeance of the Lord. Hurricane Maria, Hurricane Harvey, those people got drowned out and died. That was vengeance of the Lord. That was an angel stirring up that hurricane. See people dying in forest fires. vengeance of the Lord.
That's something you have to be sad about. That's something you fear. Right? Like, man, I need to put my shit together. I don't want no part of that. You know?
Yep. Go ahead. Can I break down something real quick?
This is Amos chapter 3 and verse 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid?
Start with a couple verses.
This is Amos chapter 3, starting up at
Start like verse 5.
verse 4. I'll start at verse 4. Will a lion roar in the forest when he hath no prey?
Go ahead.
Will a young lion cry out of his den if he have taken nothing? Can a bird fall in a snare upon the earth where no gin is for him? Shall one take up a snare from the earth and have taken nothing at all?
Go ahead.
Shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid?
So if a trumpet gets blown in the city and an alarm of war gets blown in the city, are the people not going to be afraid of that, of what's to come? When you hear an alarm sound, there's 50 missiles shooting from Russia. All our missile defense systems are down, and they're going to be here in 30 minutes. Pray to God. May God be with you all. What are you going to do? You going to hear that alarm? And you know there ain't nothing you can do about it. The missiles is coming, and they going to hit where you're going to be at. That alarm goes off. Are you not going to be afraid? Go ahead.
Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai hath not done it?
Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord hath not done it? There's a lot of there's a lot of evil that takes place in the city. People getting murdered. You see what I'm saying? People getting raped, pedophiles just popping little children. You see what I'm saying? All kinds of just evil things take place on the planet Earth, man. You see? Somebody shooting up a school. Why would that person do that? Why would that person go in there and shoot up all those little innocent kids? That was evil in the city, right? Well, the Lord did that to those kids.
Isaiah 45 and 7. You know? So the light create darkness, I create peace and create evil, man. I, the Lord, do all these things, man. Most side blatantly telling you the scripture if you begin to read and going into it, man. He says all through the scriptures that, hey, I'm the author of it. I don't feel bad about it. Those are my judgments, man. You know?
That's why the scripture talks about how, matter of fact, hold that real fast. You don't gotta get it. Did you get it? That's it on that. Did you grab 1 Corinthians? Hold that, I'm sorry. Get 1 Corinthians, I want to say it's 3 and 6, I think it is.
I got something real quick for you.
Go ahead, Bob.
This is 1 Samuel 2 and 6. The Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up.
Right, the Lord killeth and maketh alive, man. All right, so, hey, for women that talking about, I brought you in, I can take you out. No, man, the Lord puts that spirit into that baby. That's why sometimes people can't have a baby for 10, 12 years. And they have to do some other madness, go get another woman to have a
What they call it?
surrogate mother.
I know somebody look at that shit right now. That shit crazy.
And sometimes you ain't trying to have no kids, all of a sudden the first time you pop a woman, all of a sudden you got a baby. You're like, damn. You know, that's up to the Most High, man. He can make you love and he kill us, man. Psalm 16:20 said the issues of death belong to the Lord, man. You know? So hey, it's all these things, all things that go on and operate that happen throughout the planet Earth, man. It's all the will, it's all orchestrated by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. He's no one else, man. He just uses angels for the righteous side, he uses righteous angels. And for the evil that happens, he has death angels on the left hand side, man. And the head death angel and the head angel on the left hand side is Satan, man. So the head on the right side is Yahweh, man.
Verse 7, the Lord maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up.
Right, he maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and bringeth up. And everything that happens is of the will of the Most High, man. He governs it all with the palm of his hands. When you read the right, the 18th chapter.
Right.
That's it.
Can you grab this real quick? 1 Corinthians 3:19.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 19. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High.
Right, the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. Go ahead.
For it is written, He taketh the wise in their own craftiness.
Right, he taketh the wise in his own craftiness, man. So what the people deem as wisdom on this side, and they deem that they understand the Heavenly Father and his judgments, it's really foolishness, man. People don't understand the wisdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. As the scripture says, wisdom is too high for a fool, man. You see? It tells you in Isaiah the 55th chapter that pretty much who can understand his ways, man. As the heavens is above and the earth is beneath, and we're here, how are we really going to sit down and really understand the judgments of the Lord, man? You see what I'm saying? The judgments of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua are far beyond what we can even fathom, man. See? That was it.
Well, I did want to say this, Shalaki, I misspoke. Having a surrogate mother is not wicked, man, because
No, it's not.
when Jacob had Rachel and Leah, okay, that Rachel couldn't get pregnant, she gave him her handmaid, so there's nothing wrong with that, but it's wicked in this society when they go to another couple and try to have that woman have a baby. And a lot of that goes on in society. So Shalaki, I misspoke with her. But it's back in Sirach, chapter 39, verse 30. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword.
Teeth of wild beasts, scorpions, and the sword, man. These animals that's in these zoos, they gonna be let loose, man. And the Lord gonna put the spirit upon these different animals to murk a lot of people, man. Can you imagine getting chased by a silverback gorilla? Or a lion? A bear, a cheetah, a hungry lion that hasn't eaten? The Lord gonna put the spirit on that lion to get you. See what I'm saying? Walking down the street and having no idea. You already running away from a pack of men that are trying to eat you and rape you. You escape them. You turn right up the street up here, and now you see a lion looking around and is dead set looking at you now. Start walking slowly, creeping up on you in a full-blown sprint. And where you gonna go? Can't go into no building.
Real.
See?
Like they part of the movie Jumanji with all them animals and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? One wild and shit.
You ain't climbing no tree, though. I'm right there on your ass.
Like that walking on your ass.
Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction.
Right, punishing the wicked to destruction, man. All these things are punishments to the wicked, man. Fire, famine, death, the sword, the teeth of wild beasts, scorpions. Okay? All manners of death that are going to come upon this place is going to be for the wicked, man. Right. See? Go ahead.
Verse 31, here's the point. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is.
Read that again.
They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is.
They shall rejoice at his commandment and be ready upon the earth when need is, man. And that need, the need for the Lord to bring judgment upon this place is very nigh, man. Right. When the angels bring the judgment to this place, man, they're going to be happy to bring judgment, man.
That's right.
They're going to be happy to do the bidding and the will of the Lord, man.
That's right.
See?
Like I said, this real quick. That shows you an account when that angel, when the Most High opened King David's eyes, and the angel was slaying the nation of Israel. The Most High had to stop the angel, man. Otherwise, the angel was hard as hell, man. He had to put the brakes on, you know?
Yep.
It's back in the middle of verse 31. And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word.
And when the time shall come, they will not transgress his word, man. So when the Lord commands the angels to go out and do mass destruction, put the spirit upon these different nations to shoot these missiles out, what do you think the angels are going to do? Khan, out of one. And they're going to go out there and do what the Lord told them to do. See? That's like the mindset that we got to have, man. We got to have the mindset, whatever the Lord tells us, we got to execute it, man. Okay? Not transgressing what he says and going against the flesh. That's the thing. The angels don't got the flesh to go against, man. They in their order, man. They in 100. They in the spirit, man. We down here in these chains of darkness got to deal with this flesh, constantly battling, going back and forth with the thoughts within your head. The angels don't got to deal with that, man. The angels are in complete order.
Psalm 78:49. He casts upon them fierceness of his anger, wrath, and indignation and trouble by sending evil angels upon them.
By sending evil angels upon them, man. You see? The Lord gonna send a bunch of evil angels upon these people, man. Man, people are gonna see apparitions, ghosts. You see what I'm saying? When you don't eat for a little bit of time and you don't drink, man, you start hallucinating. You see? And the Lord gonna really make manifest these demons, man. They gonna really be manifesting. You gonna see them, man.
A lot of people
You see them, man. You awake and when you sleep. Okay? You gonna have hella nightmares, man, and wake up and start seeing the same thing. That's what they constantly torment that thing.
Man, what's that?
Judgment.
Wasn't it Solomon 17th chapter? We start at the top on that. Could you grab that real quick? Up the top? Yeah.
This is
Start at verse 19.
This is 1 Kings chapter 22, starting at verse 19. And it reads, and he said, hear thou therefore the word of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. I saw Yahweh sitting on his throne, all the hosts of heaven standing by him on the right hand and on the left.
Right, so you had angels that was on the right hand side and on the left hand side of Yahweh. Okay, Yahweh was sitting on his throne. 1 Kings chapter 22, verse 19. Go ahead.
Con. Verse 20. And Yahweh said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead?
Right, so Ahab, all right, Ahab was going to be slain at Ramoth Gilead. Okay? So, I believe, who was this prophet again? I'm going to say it was, starts with an M or an N? Micah, the water. The prophet Micah, okay? And Ahab did not like the prophet Micah, because Micah let him know what the deal was, man. Because when you read up in the chapter, you had Ahab that had false prophets that was giving them, that was giving them pretty much false information, like, yeah, you're going to be good, man. You're going to be good. You're going to go to Ramoth Gilead, you're going to win. And then, it was one of the kings of Judah that came down, or that went up to speak with Ahab because they had a pact together. All right, and then the king of Judah, I forgot his name, I forgot which king it was, pretty much told him like, well, let's go to Micah, man, because we know that he's a real prophet of the Lord. We know what he says is what it is. We know that the Lord is dealing with him, right? So when you read in the story, in the history, they first go to Micah. They go to him before that account. And Micah, they're like, hey, Micah, what's going to happen at Ramoth Gilead? And then when you read it, it's kind of funny. Micah is like, Ahab's going to go up, and he's going to win. And then Ahab was pretty much like, man, why you tell man? He lying, man. You already know. I already know that he lying to me right now. Like, what the hell, man? Like, I already know he against me, and he ain't telling me the truth right now. So this is what Micah really says. So read it again.
Con. Verse 20. And Yahweh said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner.
Right, so you had the angels that was communicating within themselves. Man, you had the angels that was having a discourse in the heavens. Just like you see it in Job, the 2nd chapter.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? When Satan came in the midst of the sons of God, and they came and they discoursed before Yahweh. Okay, the same thing was going on at this time. Go ahead.
Con. Verse 21. And there came forth a spirit and stood before Yahweh and said, I will persuade him.
Right, so the spirit, the angel came and said, look, I can persuade Ahab. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 22. And Yahweh said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. Go forth and do so.
Now when you read that, did that happen? Did the angel go down? And the Lord said, thou shalt persuade him, and thou shalt do so. You're going to do this. You're going to persuade him, and you're going to do this. Did the angel go down afterwards? It was like, man, I don't know, man. I was tripping. I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna fall back. No, the angel went down and persuaded the prophets and told Ahab to go to Ramoth Gilead. And what happened in Ramoth Gilead? He got slain by the arrow. The arrow went through his chest. Okay, he died. And the dogs went and licked his blood in the lake, man, in the chariot. Because that was prophesied that was going to happen to him. The dogs was going to lick his blood. The blood of the dogs that licked his blood, they're going to lick your blood up. And that's what happened. And the angel of the Lord persuaded the prophets for him to go up there and do that. So did the angels transgress the commandments of the Lord? No. They do according to the Lord's bidding, man.
That's right. Present themselves to the Most High.
They present themselves before Yahweh, man.
There you go.
What you got to
Show.
It's 9 kinds of angels. What angels you talking about? What kind of angels you talking about? There's 9 kinds of angels. There's the guardian angels, there's the secret one,
Yeah.
the 4 faces, the lion, the ox, the eagle, and
Right.
the face of the man. That's one type of angel.
There's many types of angels.
Exactly, but there's not many types. There's 7. 9 orders of angels.
Well, you have the archangel. You have Michael the archangel. You have the angels are in order in the heavens.
Guardian angels.
Okay, but there's many different angels.
All the things at one time, but I know there's 9
He has 24 elders, he has archangels, but that's not the point. The point is, there's angels that do the will of Yahweh Shem Shah. He has angels on the left hand side, he has angels on the right hand side. Sometimes it describes the angels, sometimes it doesn't. Okay? That's the point of it. Okay? If the Most High want us to know what kind of angel it was, He would have had the man describe it down in the First Kings.
Right.
Yeah, you
But
got
it doesn't
Gabriel,
say.
you got Raphael, you got all of them. Bunch of them.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 17, starting at verse 1.
Now, when you read Wisdom of Solomon, the 17th chapter, the first verse, it talks about what's going to befall Egypt.
Solomon?
Okay? Wisdom of Solomon 17. Go ahead.
For great are thy judgments and cannot be expressed. Therefore unnurtured souls have erred. For when unrighteous men thought to oppress the holy nation,
When unrighteous men thought to oppress the holy nation, which the holy nation are the Israelites, okay, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the unholy men are who? Okay? The so-called white man, Esau, Edom, as well as these different heathen nations. Go ahead.
for when unrighteous men thought to oppress the holy nation, they being shut up in their houses, the prisoners are of darkness, and fettered with the bonds of a long night.
And the fetters of the bond of a long night, shut up in darkness. This is describing what took place in ancient Egypt. Okay, when the Lord came through and he sent them plagues to Egypt, when the Exodus took place, there was plagues that went through. Okay, go ahead. And this is the modern day Egypt today. So the same
that's
plagues that happened
Babylon
back
too.
then is going to happen here,
Babylon.
man.
Solomon and Gomorrah, all of them.
Right, exactly.
Right, all of them.
Prisoners of darkness and fettered with bonds of a long night, lay there exiled from the eternal providence. For while they supposed to lie hid in their secret sins, they were scattered under a dark veil of forgetfulness, being horribly astonished and troubled with strange apparitions.
Being horribly astonished and troubled with strange apparitions. What is an apparition? An apparition is a ghost, a spirit. Okay, being troubled by these strange apparitions and seeing these ghosts. Okay, seeing these spirits pass by, man. Hearts filling them for fear. Go ahead.
For neither might the corner that held them keep them from fear, but noises as of waters.
Bro, they was hiding in the corners, sitting in the corner like, man, what the, you know what I'm saying? Couldn't see anything. It was dark.
Bro, it was
Couldn't
so
see anything.
it was so thick, dark. You couldn't even strike a match. Like, it was thick, man.
Bro, you couldn't even breathe.
Yeah. So you couldn't even see the
It's
hand
so
in
dark
front of
you
you.
can't breathe. It
Right.
suffocates you.
It's just thick.
And that's a dark most high.
I'm saying.
For neither might the corner that held them keep them from fear, but noises as of waters falling down sounded about them,
Right.
and sad visions appeared unto them with heavy countenance.
Sad visions appeared unto them with heavy countenances, man. So it's already dark. Okay, it's already dark. You're sitting in the corner. You're hearing noises. You're seeing sad visions, apparitions of spirits plaguing you in your mind. The Most High is putting those spirits in your mind for you to think that you're really seeing this, because you are really seeing it. The Heavenly Father's putting it in your head to see.
White man say, "Oh, you ain't see, you bipolar, you schizophrenic." That's a lie.
Yeah, no, that's a lie, man. That's the
a lie.
Lord putting
Yeah,
demons
them
on
demons
people,
you
man.
see, God showing them to you.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
he shot you early, but you ain't pay no attention, so he gets started late.
Verse 5. No power of the fire might give them light.
No power of the fire might give them light.
See?
You can't strike no,
No
you can't
torch.
strike no match.
You know, back then
can't-
they had them torches back. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
no lantern.
Yeah,
That light was, the darkness was so strong that it would put the flame out, man.
man.
Keep this in mind. This is coming here. Go ahead.
Neither could the bright flames of the stars endure to lighten that horrible night.
So even the stars and the moon couldn't light that horrible night. As the scripture says, the sun shall be darkened and the sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall not give their light in that day. In Joel the 3rd chapter, you can see a star tonight. Just look up. Go ahead.
Verse 6.
There's one right there. You know?
North Star too, real big.
Only there appeared unto them a fire kindled of itself.
There
very
only
dreadful.
appeared unto them a fire. Read that again. Get Hebrews the 1st chapter, like the last 2 verses. Go ahead.
Only there appeared unto them a fire kindled itself, very dreadful.
There appeared unto them only a fire appeared by themselves, very dreadful. Now get this. Get
The Hebrews.
Hebrews chapter 1, verse flames of fire. Oh, shut it. Okay, yeah. That's right. Go ahead.
This is Hebrews chapter 1 and verse 7. And of the angels he saith, who maketh his angels spirits, and his ministers
angel spirits,
and his ministers a flame of fire.
and his ministers a flame of fire. So what was they seeing?
False prophet.
They were seeing evil angels.
Yeah.
They were
False
seeing
prophet,
those
false
angels.
prophet. Yeah,
You see what I'm saying? The Lord was sending those angels down, you see, to be there in front of them, to give them those visions and to scare them. Right? Go ahead.
For being much terrified, they thought the things which they saw to be worse than the sight they saw not.
Man, read that again, please.
Much terrified, they thought the things which they saw to be worse than the sight they saw not.
They thought the things that they saw to be worse than the sight that they saw not, man. Whew. Bro, they thought it was, bro, what they thought in their minds was worse than what they was really seeing. Go ahead.
As for the illusions of art and magic, they were put down, and their vaunting in wisdom was reproved with disgrace.
Right, so the magic that they had in ancient Egypt, the sorcery that they've done, the same sorcery that they do today, it was brought down in that day. See, when you had those magicians in the time of Pharaoh,
Solomon did
what they do, they was making serpents and things of that nature. What the Lord do?
Well,
He
Solomon
made
did too,
Moses'
didn't he?
rod turn into a
Solomon
serpent.
did too, all them witches did.
See, go ahead.
Verse 8, for they that promised to drive away terrorists and troubles from a sick soul were sick themselves of fear, worthy to be laughed at.
Go ahead. And the Lord said that He's going to laugh at your calamity in that day, man.
That's right.
People running around screaming, not knowing what the hell is going on, jumping out of buildings. I'm talking about being at the top of a building and just jumping off because you see a spirit. You're being tormented in your mind by demons, man.
And that's right. That's what how you gonna see that today? These false prophets talking about they healing people and they fan their hand and people falling out and gyrating, they hitting with their suit jackets and all that type of madness in the churches, man. They're gonna be plagued in that day. There's not gonna be any remedy for them. Like the brother said, they're gonna take swan dives off buildings, all types of things. Verse 9. For though no terrible thing did fear them, yet being scared with beasts that passed by and hissing of serpents, they died for fear.
They died. They had heart attacks. Read that again. They was having heart attacks.
For though no terrible thing did fear them, yet being scared with beasts that passed by and hissing of serpents, they died for fear, denying that they saw the error which could of no side be avoided.
Bro, so that was just, you already imagine, it's already dark, you can't light no fire, they're seeing visions of demons and spirits, and then you hearing serpents hiss by you, hearing a lion, a growling noise, you know what I'm saying, newly created creatures,
Right, yeah.
you know what I'm saying, just, you know, and you can't see it, they just dropping dead, they're like, you know what I'm saying, bro, you can't even fathom that, man. Go ahead.
For wickedness condemned by her own witness is very timorous, and being pressed with conscience always forecasted grievous things. For fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succors which reason offered.
Read that again.
For fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succors which reason offered.
Right.
And the expectation from within, being less, counted the ignorance more than the cause which bringeth the torment.
Go ahead.
But they sleeping the same sleep at night, which was indeed intolerable. And
They couldn't even go to sleep. They were stressed out. Anxiety was on a level that was unimaginable. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm gonna say this. Esau got gonna try to obey torture. Esau, your torture techniques ain't got nothing on this, man.
That's right.
This is torture.
But they sleeping the same sleep that night, which was indeed intolerable, and which came upon them out of the bottoms of inevitable hell, were partly vexed with monstrous apparitions.
Monstrous apparitions. Monstrous apparitions. That's torture, man.
That's what torture shit ain't nothing.
Man, yeah, like you say, Esau torture methods ain't nothing compared to how the Most High gonna torture you.
You ain't seeing nothing. Fucking out dying and shit.
And well, when you look at maybe old school poltergeist, man. All these different apparition and spirits and ghosts, you know what I'm saying, were showing themselves. That shit freak you out, man. You know? But that's just the mind of Esau, man. That's the Esau's people mind. Just think of Yahweh Shem Yahushua who's gonna create those apparitions.
Right.
Look how terrible that's gonna be. Verse 15. Were partly vexed with monstrous apparitions and partly fainted, their heart failing them. For a sudden fear and not looked for came upon them.
For a sudden fear not looked for came upon them. In 1 Thessalonians 5, it says a sudden fear.
I got it.
Go ahead.
Put it right now.
Oh, okay.
First, you said 5:3.
Yep, 1 Thessalonians.
1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them.
Right. But when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction gonna come upon them, man. Okay? They gonna think themselves to be in a pitiful case in that day, man.
Right.
Living their lives like complete nincompoops, complete demons. And when you think that everything is good, the last one the Lord gonna bring that sudden destruction upon you, man. And that destruction is gonna come in various different ways.
Okay.
See?
As travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
As travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape, man. When a woman about to have a baby, man, she can't escape those contractions. She can't escape those birth pains, man. Once that baby is there, once that baby ready to come out, that baby gonna come out. Point blank, period.
Doesn't matter where you at, what you doing.
That's how ego club out.
When it's time, it's time.
Whoever did the baby is
Same thing when you have Bashim Yahshua and those judges. He don't care if you're at Starbucks. He don't care if you're in the middle of getting some box. He don't care. Judgment's gonna come.
Right.
At the appointed time. It doesn't matter what you do.
And you got the race of people that's gonna fight the battle for and joy too. He said they do. He said fire goes before them. They do not break rank. They look like little horses on the mountain. Right? On the day of the Lord, they joy too. He got a race of people that's gonna fight the battle.
Those people are talking about missiles.
We have not seen or will see again.
When he's talking about they're not break their ranks, that's Joel in the second chapter. He's talking about
Joy too.
Well, spiritual matter, brother. Spiritual
Let's go
I
back.
ain't talking about spirit, man. I'm talking about joy too. They look like little horses on the mountain.
Verse 16. So then whosoever there fell down was straightly kept, shut up in a prison without iron bars.
What's that prison? Without iron bars. Your mind.
Right.
Being in prison in your mind in that night, man.
For whether he were a husbandman or a shepherd or a laborer in the field, he was overtaken and endured that necessity which cannot be avoided.
Man, so it says you could be a husbandman, a shepherd, or a laborer in the field, man. Any kind of occupation you had, man, you wasn't escaping that, man.
Nope.
The judgment of the Lord was upon you, man.
Right.
It's going to be upon the small and great.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Already been upon me. I've been death bed 5 times, brother.
It said he
5 times.
endured that necessity, man.
Already upon.
That it was
just don't
needful,
see.
man. That judgment had to go out, man, because the Most High prescribed that, man. His word doesn't return unto him void, man. So it's a necessity for these things to go out. Hey, it's going to happen, man. You know? For they were all bound with one chain of darkness, whether it were a whistling wind or a melodious noise of birds among the spreading branches.
Either you got a whispering wind, just a, I wonder what that word melodious means.
Ooh, that's what melody is.
Oh, melody? Melodious noise? Melodious. Go ahead.
Melodious noise of birds among the spreading branches, or
So they birds are singing. Okay, I got you.
or a pleasing fall of water running violently, or a terrible sound of stones cast down, or a running that could not be seen of skipping beasts.
Bro, remember in that movie Tales from the Hood? When the guy was when them little figurines
Oh, the
chasing them,
puppet.
they just kept hearing them little footsteps around because
Slaves and dogs.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All you can hear all the people just running. Bro, if you make Wisdom of Solomon the 17th chapter into a movie, that would be a scary ass movie. You ever see the movie Insidious? Yeah. That's what it reminds me of. You see?
It said melodious. It says producing or having a pleasant tune.
Yeah, going back to the birds.
They ain't
Going
got
back to
nothing.
the birds, chirping.
This is
Bro, they was hearing that and just looking around. You
They
know?
got so many books of Solomon, all of them, not just Solomon, all of them. So many books you can't contain.
Horrible.
You gotta hide it. You can't let them.
Jumping and shit, you know?
Sitting in the corner all of a sudden, in your ear. Y'all ain't from a heart attack. Just off a bird. Bro. Yeah.
Niggas spilling their popcorn.
These real guys. They got it.
Verse 19, or a terrible sound of stones cast down, or a running that could not be seen of skipping beasts, or a roaring voice of most savage wild beasts.
Man, bro. Most savage wild beasts, you hearing the roar around, you can't see them, you don't know where they at, but you hear them. You don't know if you about to be getting eaten. You don't know what the heck about to happen to you. That's the fear. This is the fear of the Lord, man. Go ahead.
Or a rebounding echo from the hollow mountains. these things made them to swoon for fear.
Man, so that's, bro, this is the fear of the Lord, man.
That's right.
This is why you should fear Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. You don't want to be a part of that, man. That's the judgment of the Lord, man. Being tormented in your mind.
This actually breaks down in detail what happens in Egypt. All the plagues.
Can I bring this out real quick? This is Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 31. And it reads, it is a fearful
In captivity, power that can paralyze you. Do all manners of destruction to you, man. See, it's a fearful thing to fall into his hands, man. Because once you in his hands, there ain't no plucking out of his hands, man.
That's right.
You in there, yeah. You in there for good, man. Just like the elect are in his hands of the Lord, the wicked, when the wicked can't be delivered out the hand of the Lord, man. See? Yeah, they more on that? I think that was it.
It's back in Wisdom of Solomon, the 17th chapter, verse 20. For the whole world shined with clear light, and none were hindered in their labor. Over them only was spread in heavy night.
Right. So when you go back into the history of that time, you had the children of Israel. Okay, they had light. Okay, they didn't have all those different calamities happening to where they were residing at. Okay, they didn't have any of those apparitions and things taking place where we were staying at. But those Egyptians, where they was living at in Egypt, they was catching the L's, man.
That's right.
See? Go ahead.
Wisdom of Solomon 18 and 4. For they were worthy to be deprived of light and imprisoned in darkness.
Man, being imprisoned in darkness, man.
It was worthy for them to be in darkness.
Man, Scripture says that the day of the Lord is darkness and not light, man. See? Deep, heavy darkness, man. Darkness where you ever been in such a dark place where you kind of feel like you can't breathe? You kind of feel like you're
Dark ass country roads.
yeah, like you really use that word, man. The darkness is so deep. Suffocating darkness, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
But they were worthy to be deprived of light and imprisoned in darkness, who kept thy son shut up. Talking about us.
That was us.
Yeah.
And he kept us shut up from the destruction, man.
That's right.
And you had to have that. You had to have that blood on your doorpost, man.
By whom the uncorrupt light of the law was to be given unto the world.
It was that world, man. That world is talking about the world of Israel, man. See, and the angels was the one producing that darkness, man, producing those visions. As we read, that the only flame that they seen was a flaming spirit. Which you read that was a spirit or an angel. See?
Back in Wisdom of Solomon, the 17th chapter, the middle of verse 21. Over them only was spread in heavy night an image that darkness which afterwards received them, but yet were they unto themselves more grievous than the darkness.
Yeah, were they unto themselves more grievous than the darkness, man. They was really being plagued in their minds, man. See, the darkness is really there. The demons was really there. The sounds was really there. See? But the Lord was killing them and making their hearts fail for fear, man. And that's the scriptures talk about that, man. When all hell breaks loose in these streets, man, your heart is gonna fail you from fear, man. Not knowing if you're gonna eat, man. Not knowing if you're gonna make it out of the pack of people that's chasing you, man, trying to eat you.
Right.
See? Not understanding where your next turn is gonna be. Whether, a lion as the scripture says, the day of the Lord is gonna be like you flee from a lion and a bear meet you. You see what I'm saying? Then the bear meets you, you flee from the bear, then the serpent bites you. There's gonna be no escape from the day of the Lord, man.
That's right.
Isaiah 66 and 3. He that killed, the point is in verse 4. He that killeth an ox as if he slew a man, he that sacrificeth a lamb as if he cut off a dog's neck, he that offereth an oblation as if he offered swine's blood, he that burneth incense as if he blessed an idol. Yea, they have chosen their own ways, and their soul delighteth in their abominations. I also will choose their delusions, and will bring their fears upon them.
Right, so the Lord said in that day he's going to choose your delusion. He's going to bring their fear upon them, man. He's going to choose, man, your worst fear, whatever it is, man, the Lord can make it manifest, man. If you have a fear of roaches or cockroaches, man, the Lord can make it whereas, man, you a campus surrounded by with a bunch of roaches. You You can't get out. They all crawling on you and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You fear drowning, the Lord can drown you. You fear burning alive, the Lord can burn you alive. You fear getting eaten alive by a wild pack of animals, the Lord can make you get eaten alive by a wild pack of animals, man.
Right.
Because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear.
Right, so when the Lord called, none did not answer. And how does the Lord call you? He calls you by his prophets.
That's right.
Okay? By the Lord, by the men of the Lord that go out on the highways and byways telling you what's to come. The prophets that the Lord set up is we are the mouthpiece of the Lord, man.
Yeah, but
The Lord ain't gonna crack the clouds and talk to you directly, man. He's gonna send men on the planet Earth to talk to you, man.
that's right.
And you talk to you by way of his word, man. Okay, because the spirit is within us and we're telling you the judgments of the Lord.
He talks to us
See?
anyway.
That's why it's saying through the terror of the Lord we persuade men.
50 gates of
He
wisdom.
gave the scriptures also say he revealed his secrets unto his servants and prophets. So he gave us an insight, and we linked that insight to the scriptures to what's being played out on the planet Earth, man.
That's right.
So he's showing us that his will and his judgments are real, man. By the way people are perishing, by the way judgments are playing out, by how everything's playing out according to the prophets, man. So that gives us a fear, okay, to come out and proclaim the truth to the rest of our people, man. And that's what he sent his spirit out there to tell them to, hey, repent, man. Fear the Lord. Come back to the law, statutes, commandments, man. Understand you're an Israelite, man. That you're not a proverb in the Bible. That you're not a nigga. You're not a Mexican. You need to stop smoking weed. Stop selling crack. Stop smoking crack. Stop committing adultery. Stop lying. Stop doing all these things, man. And repent. And come back to the ancient ways, man. Why? Otherwise, the Most High is going to smoke a lot of people in that day.
That's right.
You know?
Actually, so
But they did evil before mine eyes, and chose that in which I delighted not.
What's those things that the Lord delights not in, man? The things that is opposite in this law, man. Being homosexuals, faggots, being murderers, being adulterers, liars, thieves. Okay? You choose these things which the Lord delights not. So the Lord is going to bring your delusions upon you, man. He's going to bring his fear upon you and you're not going to escape. Because you decided not to get right when you heard the message. You decided to still be a nigga. You decided to still be wicked. Oh, yeah?
Jeremiah 15, starting at 2. And it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith the Lord, such as are for death to death, as for sword to the death to death, and such as are the sword to the sword. Jeremiah 15 and 2. And it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith the Lord.
Right, so and that's what the men of the Lord are going to say. Okay? People come and ask questions, and we're going to tell them. What are we going to tell them?
Such as are for death to death, and such as are for sword to sword.
Right, so those that are appointed to death and destruction, those that are appointed to the sword, they're going to receive that. Okay? By what? How? By doing those things that the Most High delighted not, man. So and that's what we have to tell our people. If you continue with these things, then the Most High is going to appoint you to the sword and death. Okay? That's what we have to tell our people, man. If you don't get right, then you're going to be put to death, man, by various ways, various fearful ways, man. And that's what the Most High has always told his men to tell the people, man. That's why I get Ezekiel 33rd chapter. Okay? The Most High always sent his men out to a kingdom before he decided to bring judgment, man, to preach his word, to warn the people. And there's nothing new under the sun. We're already doing the same thing that was done in the ancient world. So on the whole Jeremiah 28:8 as well. Go ahead, up.
And such as are the famine to famine, and such as for the captivity to captivity. Verse 3. And I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord, the sword to slay, and the dogs to tear, and the fowls of heaven, and the beasts of the earth, devour and destroy.
Right, so all those things were set up for destruction, like we read in the 39th chapter earlier. And just another example of, hey, the Most High used various ways for judgment, man. The sword, wild beasts, famine. So all these things are going to be happening here in America, man, like we read. Okay? That famine of word is coming, but also actual famine is going to come. Right. Where people are going to be hungry as hell, so people are going to resort to cannibalism.
Yes, sir.
Okay, wild beasts, animals are going to get out loose from the zoo. Rabbit dogs are going to be loose, man. All type of things, man. Raccoons, all type of things are going to be happening, man. It's a judgment of the Heavenly Father, man. It's very possible. The brother already gave the example earlier about how dogs fell out of the sky on top of a woman's head, man. How bizarre is that? Well, that's how extreme. That's the extremities that we're coming to in this society, man.
What, a dog?
Yeah.
Fall on the woman's head?
Yeah, when a dog falls on your head, man, the Most High got it out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The Most High clearly has it out. That's to let you know I may need to change my life.
That's good.
You know, but like I said, all bets are off, man. It ain't. Hey, everything is open in the time of judgment. The Most High is going to execute that. That right, Ezekiel 33 first.
This is Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 1. And it reads, and again the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai came unto me saying.
Right, and that's what a lot of times the prophet started off saying that, man. The word of the Yahweh Bashem Yahushai came unto me saying, and then all of a sudden, then it's you what? For you to pass on that message to the people. Go ahead.
Verse 2, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon a land, if the people of the land take a man of their coasts and set him for their watchman, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people, then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head.
Right, his blood's going to be upon his own head. Why? Because there was a watchman out there. And that's what we did in ancient Israel. There was always watchers that watched for people to come, and they blew the trumpet, man. Depending on the type of action they saw, it might have been a different sound for the trumpet. It might have been a sound for war. It might have been just announcing someone's approaching the gates, or it might have been announcing someone of high promise, man. You never know. Okay? And that's the same thing we're out here doing now, man. We're out here blowing this that spiritual trumpet, man. That's why the scriptures say, cry loud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet. And show my people their transgressions in the house of Jacob their sins. So we're out here doing the same thing, blowing that trumpet. And the people that are going to take heed to that, hey, they're gonna be put to death, man, but their blood's gonna be upon their own head. Why? Because
Verse 5, he heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning.
You heard the sound of trumpet, so that's our people today. Our people walk up and down these streets all day, every day, week in and week out, while we're out here giving this top shelf knowledge to the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, telling them what's coming. Okay? It ain't like we speak a different language. Sometimes we address certain people and stop them and ask them questions. You know, but they walk up and down the street all day with this trumpet being blown, and they're not paying attention.
That's right.
Right?
His blood shall be upon him.
Right, their blood's gonna be upon them. Right?
But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul.
Right, the ones that take warning shall deliver their soul, man. That's what the brother Kawhi started off with earlier, man. Okay? Well, Ezekiel 9:4 said to mark upon the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst of them. And so those men that take heed, that come into this knowledge and repent and push the will of Yahweh Shah, they're gonna deliver their souls, man. Lord willing. Go ahead.
Verse 6. But if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them.
The watchmen see that. Now, if we come out, if we know that have this knowledge, man, and we don't come out and warn the people, and they be taken away in their iniquity. Go ahead.
He is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand.
Right, because why? The watchman is set up to warn, man. Okay? And that's why these pastors in these churches, these other Israelite camps they're held accountable, they're gonna be put to death, man. Why? Because they're like dumb dogs when you read Isaiah the 56th chapter. They're not barking, they're not warning. You get a dog, why? For protection, for warning, okay? You got a dog that every time you hear a doorbell, but you don't never hear your dog bark, man, you ain't bitch to get rid of that damn dog. It's like, why are you here? You know?
Can I ask one question?
What's the question?
Is the white man the devil, or is the devil in the white man?
So-called white man, who we know is the Edomites according to the Bible, they are the devil. That word devil means deceiver.
That's right.
Deceiver. Deceiver. So that's why we call them the devil. Okay? It's on tradition. Okay, that's all that word means. Deceiver. And the so-called white man, who we know as Esau according to the Bible, has walked around and deceived the whole earth. So that's why he's known as the devil. There is a wicked spirit that's in him, because he's set up to be the wicked. Okay, so that's true as well.
I got something for you.
I feel like
Proverbs
this
16:4.
this picture right here, that looks fucking deceitful as fuck.
What?
All these white fucking people.
And let me read this real quick then. Job 9:24.
Right?
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Right, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, man. Go ahead.
He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
Right, so these are the people that are ruling right now.
Right.
The 1%, they run. So, and the scriptures say that the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. So they're ruling for a time being. So that lets you know right there that they are the wicked. Because why are they the wicked? Because of their actions. What they push forth on the planet Earth. Their actions bear witness to why they're wicked. When you read Proverbs 29 and 2, somebody grab Proverbs 29 and 2 real quick.
This is Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
Righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
Right, so paying attention around the planet Earth, what is everyone rejoicing or is everybody mourning right now? Everybody's catching hell, right? Even your people, they doing y'all wrong. That's why y'all so mad right now.
That's why I'm just curious about the language of. We sit here with the divide of the races, you know, but the devil doesn't know the race. He's just going to infect whoever he can infect.
He knows nationality, though, and that's why we use the term so-called white or so-called black. Because you have people, if I can finish it, you have people out there that look like they're white or other nations, but are in fact Israelites, man. So it's not necessarily about your skin; it's about the spirit that dwells within you, man.
That's right.
And now the majority, now we have to say this though: the majority of so-called white people have either they condone or done many heinous things, man, and they're going to be judged for those crimes, you know, according to the word of Yahweh Shai. And also prophesied in 2nd Ezra 6 and 9 that Jacob is the beginning of the world and Esau is the end of it that follows. So we know that Esau is on top for a given period, but soon Jacob's going to be moved.
Right, and we're in those end times, so people that are ruling right now shows you that they're Esau, according to the scriptures. And like the brother say, it's not all about color, it's about nationality.
That's right.
Okay? Well, we know but as color is a good indicator, but it's not the end all be all. The majority of our so-called white people, the Europeans that came over here, those are Edomites. Those are the wicked.
Well, and where we are in our world, right? We put color and nation together sometimes.
Right, well that was created by the so-called, that was created by the Edomites. Like by the time Johann Blumenbach, he created that. Before that, it was all nation, nationality, but he created that term, black, white, yellow, and all that stuff.
But I guess my question is, then, now I have a new one.
It'll come to you.
Yeah, it'll come. Okay. My idea is just like, though, my people need to get called out. We absolutely have to. Because how can we, correct ourselves if we don't look inside ourselves? Like, we need it. We need people calling us out. But I wonder if just like always making it about the race and the color, is that just perpetuating it and continuing the same struggle versus like changing the language? Like, how can we change the language?
Scripture describe the change for that. The change is, hey, what you put out, what you put back. Revelation 6 and 7. So the so-called white men, the Edomites, put these people into slavery. Brought hell upon these people. Came in cargo slave ships, raped, robbed, and murdered them. Okay, separated from their families. Beat the Hebrew nationality out of them, told them they're black, Mexicans, niggers, and ain't worth nothing.
And that's our history. What's our future?
Right. The future is.
We know our present. We know our past. What's our
future is the same.
We're all the same.
Yeah, no, you're going to read the same. You're going to have to go. So-called Edomites are going to have to go.
That's right.
Revelation 13, 9 and 10.
I just want to say this one thing. Back in that scripture he just read, Job 9:24, at the end it said, he has covered the faces of the judges thereof. We just said that the word devil just means deceiver. How did he deceive? He covered the faces of the actual judges of the planet. This is the judge of the planet. Okay, they call him Jesus, but his name is Yahweh Shai. This is how he did it. He made him look like you. Okay?
Yeah.
But he's actually an Israelite, you see, from the tribe of Judah. So that's how he did back in that scripture, Job 9:24, when it says he covered the faces of the judges thereof. That's how he did that. because we knew who the judges of the planet were. Okay? That's the actual judge. His name is Yahweh Shai, the son of the Most High Yahweh.
So, exactly, right? So that's another part of deception. But this is the future judgment as prescribed in the Bible.
Well, look, I don't mean to cut you off, but I definitely agree with the idea of the deception. It's all around in our fucking world.
Galatians 6 and 7.
Anyways,
Galatians 6 and 7.
you guys, more power to you guys, man. Sitting up here, I don't know, you don't need a white guy to fucking tell you that.
No, I mean,
Anyways, thank you for your conversation.
Oh, no problem. Hey, you never know. Hey, like I said, it's not all about.
It's not a color thing.
Well, I know, but it just seems like today everything we make it about, everybody's argument or whatever, it falls down to that.
Right.
And I'm wondering, like, my white people just put the burden of equality on you guys, and we just stifle it from your history, your people, and I don't know what to do. I don't know how to fucking engage it. I don't know how to do anything. And so I just was passing by you guys, and I appreciate your conversation.
Okay.
You helped me as a person, like in my enlightenment. So I appreciate that.
Hey, no problem. Galatians 6, 7. You got Revelation.
Job 20 for that.
Yeah, somebody hold that. Let's get this. Okay, and then we can end it off with Job 20.
This is Revelation chapter 13.
Verse 9. This is just edification for the camera. I'm pretty sure brothers know the scripture, but hey, he asked, how can we move forward after things been done? Okay. Go ahead.
You want to get that faith.
Galatians 6 and 7. Be not deceived. The Most High is not mocked.
Right, be not deceived. The Most High is not mocked. So you can't deceive the Heavenly Father. You can't have any type of agenda without Him knowing. Okay, you can't get one over on Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Right, go ahead.
For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So his question is, how can we move forward from this? We can only move forward for Esau reaping what he sowed. He sowed death, destruction, rape, robbery, and catastrophe across the whole planet Earth. He must reap the same.
That's right.
He has to reap the same. He has to reap that slavery. Okay? Scripture saying in Revelation, the 18th chapter, that Babylon is going to reap unto her double. Right. So Esau is going to get double what he sowed on the planet Earth, man. Go ahead, up.
Job 4 and 8. Even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same.
Right. They that plow iniquity and sow.
Job 4 and 8. Even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same.
Right. So that's what Esau has done. He plowed iniquity. He's going to reap the same, man. So they're going to have to serve that slavery. They're going to have to get back what they sow, man. That's the universal law. Every equal and opposite, every action has an equal opposite reaction. So you get out what you put in. So Esau put that energy in the planet Earth in his whole rulership. He's going to reap the same for that. Revelation 13.
This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 9. And it reads, if any man have an ear, let him hear. Verse 10, he that leadeth into captivity.
Any man have an ear, let him hear. Now everyone has ears, but who has spiritual ears and can receive it? That's why the Lord said it a lot of times. If you can receive this, okay, with your spiritual ear, you can hear it, take heed, and internalize it, and use it for the benefit, and accept it. All right, and then it's for you. Okay.
Verse 10, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Right, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. All right, so you Edomites have led the children of Israel into captivity, man. Talking about the so-called white people. So you're going to go, you have to go into captivity.
I love you.
All right, that's the only way we can move forward.
Gas maybe 150 up.
All right.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Hold on, real quick, Numbers 35 and 33.
Here is the he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Man, that's the only way we're going to be able to wipe the slate clean. There is no forgive and forget, man. The so-called white man has done too much, man. You Edomites have done too much. It's just for us to be forgiven and we're gonna walk into the kingdom of heaven. That's not how the spirit works, man. That's not how the Most High set things up. That's not what the scriptures prescribe. Hey, go ahead, up.
This is Numbers 35 and 33. It says, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are.
You're not supposed to pollute the land where you live. Go ahead.
For blood it defileth the land.
Blood defiles the land. Okay? And that's what the Edomites have done when they came over here when Gad was over here. When they first took over. Okay? And then when they brought the southern kingdom over here into slavery. Okay? They decimated 98% of Gad, of the Americans. Okay? They tortured, hanged, castrated, burned, shot, tarred, and feathered and quartered. Sometimes that may be just one Israelite. All those things have been done. There's a famous picture we always have a sign where this guy was all mangled. Dude was burned, shot, and hung, and castrated.
Cut out there.
One person, man.
It's a lot of women.
Hey, you can't. Hey, there ain't no. All right, bro, it's cool. No, it ain't gonna be nothing. You know, the scriptures say not to forget, man. The Most High has not forgot when you really put his ass to us.
I'm gonna be like Esau, smooth as butter. Nah, it's cool. Come on.
Yeah.
So when he turn around, have a big ass axe in the back of his head. You ain't getting away scathed, partner.
We can all do that in the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? But you know what?
Oh yeah, come on in.
Listen to humble and shit. And then when you turn around, man, do whatever you want to. You gonna rip the same, man. You know?
Hey, we could be standing on Native American bones right now.
Yeah,
Under this concrete.
Yeah, I believe Jake was actually hung
Right here.
on this corner, man. You know?
It's funny, like most of guys like your pictures. It's about for years too.
Yeah, you know, and that's the thing though. And that's how unfair Esau is. They want reparations. They want justice for things that happen to them. But when it's on them, they just want to smooth that out and say and want to be all humble about it. No, man, that's not gonna work. Go ahead.
And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
Right, that's the only way we're gonna be able to wipe the slate clean. But Esau's blood has to be shed. Esau has to go into slavery.
That's right.
Okay? Esau has to catch that same hell that we caught, only double. That's the only way the slate's gonna be wiped clean. And, somebody grab Job 20.
Got it right here.
Children's out there. We'll end off.
This is Job chapter 20 and verse 10.
So that guy, he had a you know, his spirit was kind of neutral. So hey, he could have been an Israelite, he could have been an Edomite. You never know. But for his sake, you better hope he's an Israelite.
That's right.
You know, but if he's go ahead. And that's what the crackers are doing, man, because they know they messed up. You know, they hear that voice in their head, man, from that voice from the society. You know you fucked up, right? You know? They can tell, man. They can tell that their rulership and their power and their privilege is slowly declining. And now they see that everybody's pissed off at that. Now they want to get in good. You know, they're trying to smooth everything go for the actual judgment. It's not gonna happen.
Con, this is Job chapter 20 and verse 10. His children shall seek to please the poor.
Right, the children of Esau are going to seek to please the poor, man. That's why the scripture say that they're going to complain of an ungodly father, man. When you read the Sirach, man. They're going to try to separate themselves. No, man. You did that as well back in reincarnation 3 or 4 generations ago. Those are the same Edomites, man. Right?
Con, and his hands shall restore their goods.
Right, he's trying to do a little bit. He talked about that BS about 40 acres and a mule, which Jake ain't seen. And then he thinks because he can give government cheese, Section 8 housing, EBT cards, or you give Dexter or Tyrone a $25 hour job and think it's cool all of a sudden. But still taking taxes out and all this other mess, man. That don't work, man.
Christmas bonus.
Yeah, with them the whack ass sacrifices, man, like Cain did in the garden, man, with Abel, man, with them fruits and vegetables, man. It's not gonna work, man. Go ahead, on.
Yes, verse 11. His bones are full of the sins of his youth.
Right, your bones are full of the sins of your youth, man. The blood that's within you, man, cries out for your wickedness, man. It testifies, man. Your whole line is wicked, man. So, and that judgment is upon you. There's no way to escape that judgment at the end of the day. That's how it's going to happen. That's how we're going to wipe the slate clean with the nation of Edom. All right, you're going to serve your slavery in captivity for 1,000 years. We're going to put you in the pit, burn you up, and destroy you, man. That's it. They'll say it the Bible. Well,
which shall be down with him in the dust.
All right, with that, we'll say call halal.
Yeah, Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makakudash.
Double honesty, apostle, elder, great Millstone, new elder spirit. Peace and blessings to your elect. Shalom.
Shalom.